Right, 7 o'clock. Called the Westfield, Washington Township Advisory Plan Commission order for May 18th, 2020. Will staff please call the roll to note the presence of quorum?
Ms. Bergman?
Here.
Mr. Graham?
Present.
Mr. Horkay?
Present.
Mr. Johns? Mr. Johns?
Here.
Dr. Kelleher?
Here.
Mr. Maui?
Here.
Mr. McCarty?
Here.
Mr. Schmitz?
Here.
Ms. Boljarek?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Next up is consideration of approval of the minutes from May 6, 2020. Having had opportunity to review those minutes, are there any additions, corrections, or comments? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
This is Kelleher. Motion to approve the minutes of May 6, 2020 APC meeting as written.
Victor will second.
A motion made by Dr. Kelleher, seconded by Mr. McCarty, to approve the minutes of May 6, 2020 as written. Will the staff please call a roll vote?
Ms. Bergman?
Yes.
Mr. Graham?
Yes.
Mr. Horkay?
Yes.
Mr. Johns?
Yes.
Dr. Kelleher?
Yes.
Mr. Maui?
Yes.
Mr. McCarty?
Yes.
Mr. Schmitz?
Yes.
Ms. Boljarek?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. We have 3 items up for consideration this evening, no public hearings. Will staff please review the rules and procedures for tonight's meeting?
Yes, due to the COVID-19 emergency as declared by the Governor of Indiana, the format and conduct of the meeting has been modified to comply with executive orders regarding the conduct of public meetings, public hearings, and public gatherings. Relevant portions of the Indiana Open Door Law have been amended or suspended during the pendency of this emergency. For all petitions, tonight's meeting will have the following structure. The department will summarize the petition and describe what action, if any, is necessary to be taken. Then the petitioner will be given up to 15 minutes to present any changes to the Plan Commission. The president of the Plan Commission will call on each member to provide comments, questions, or concerns regarding the petition. The petitioner will then have a chance to respond to comments, and the president will conduct a vote on the items. A few more comments for all APC members and petitioners. Please have your email accessible during the meeting so you can read new comments if they were to come in. And also, please mute your microphone when you are not speaking. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Howard. On to the first item of business this evening, 2004-SPP-05, 2004-ODP-05, Poplar Street Townhomes.
Good evening, Commission. For the record, I'm Jonathan Dorsey with the Community Development Department. Before you for your adoption consideration this evening is the Poplar Street Townhomes Primary Plat and Overall Development Plan. This project is located on the northwest corner of Park Street and Poplar Street and the southwest corner of Jersey and Poplar Street. This project totals approximately 1.25 acres and houses 24 townhome dwellings. And this is all within the Poplar Street Townhomes Plan Unit Development Zoning District. This project held its public hearing at your April 6th meeting. Staff had received a single public comment, which is provided to you in the public comments exhibit. The petitioner, Roger Foster, and his team do not plan on making a presentation this evening, but are available for any questions as our staff. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dorsey. So I will call out the commissioners this time for any questions or comments to Mr. Dorsey or Mr. Foster. Dr. Kelleher, questions or comments?
None at this time. Thank you.
Ms. Berkman, questions or comments?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Horkay, questions or comments?
No questions, no comments.
Mr. Johns, questions or comments? Mr. Johns?
Sorry, I gotta learn to unmute here. No questions, no comments. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Maui, questions or comments?
No questions or comments. Thanks, Randy.
Mr. McCarthy, questions or comments?
No questions or comments. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Schmitz, questions or comments?
None for me, thanks.
Thank you. Ms. Folger, questions or comments?
None for me either, thank you.
Okay. Well, if there's no further discussion, I would entertain a motion on this item.
This is Maui. I make a motion to approve the primary plat and overall development plat 2004-SPP-05 and 2004-ODP-05 with the condition that all necessary approvals be obtained from the Westfield Public Works Department and Hamilton County Surveyor's Office prior to the issuance of an improvement location permit, also contingent upon the approval of ordinance 20-17, the City of Westfield to vacate the public ways by the Westfield City Council prior to the issuance of an improvement location permit.
This is Kelleher. I will second that.
I have a motion made by Mr. Maui, seconded by Dr. Kelleher to approve 2004-SPP-05, 2004-ODP-05 with the staff's two noted conditions. Will you call the roll, please?
Ms. Bergman?
Yes.
Mr. Graham?
Yes.
Mr. Horkay?
Yes.
Mr. Johns?
Yes.
Dr. Kelleher?
Yes.
Mr. Maui?
Yes.
Mr. McCarty?
Yes.
Mr. Schmitz?
Yes.
Ms. Folger?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Ms. Howard. Move on to the next item. 2004-ODP-06, 2004-SPP-06, Chatham Villages Phase 1.
Good evening, Commission. For the record, I am Corey Harris of the Community Development Department. The item before you is the overall development plan and primary plat for 207 lots and one block on approximately 147 acres east of Tomlinson Road, west of US 31, south of 203rd Street, and north of 196th Street in the Chatham Hills PUD District. This item received its public hearing at the May 6th Plan Commission meeting. As the plans are shown as compliant with all applicable standards, if there are no concerns from the public or Plan Commission, staff recommends approval of the primary plat and overall development plan this evening with the condition listed at the end of the staff report. Phil Sunling and Brad Hinkie of Hinkie Development Group are present to answer any questions, and I am available to answer questions for staff.
Thank you. All right. We will go through the commissioners in reverse order this time. Ms. Folger, any questions or comments?
I do. I had the one question before about the access to 203rd Street and perhaps having that be stubbed until such time that the road continues north to get to 38. And was wondering if we had a determination from engineering on that.
Bill, are you on there?
Yeah, I can answer that. Cindy, I spoke with John Nail. This is Phil Sunling, Hankey Development here. Hi, Cindy. I connected with John Nail last week and again today. He might be on the call. He mentioned he was going to try to make it on the call. But yeah, I connected with him. Public Works is on board with not making that connection. I also connected with Westfield Fire, James Roberts. And he's also on board with not making that connection until it's needed to connect up to State Road 38. Should be good there.
Yeah, and Phil, this is John Nail. I am on the call, and I just would concur with what Phil just mentioned. It's really a question for our fire department more than Public Works. Public Works is comfortable with not making that connection until it's necessary to. We just really wanted to check with fire department, make sure they were comfortable with that same scenario.
Well, that's great. For me, just knowing that that was stubbed, I didn't see it on the plat that would be stubbed, given it's going to continue. But at least in the interim, it means a lot to those neighbors on 203rd Street to not have that become somewhat of a traffic corridor that it's not intended to handle there. So really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you. Mr. Schmitz, any questions or comments?
None from me, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. McCarty, questions or comments?
No questions or comments from me. Just want to emphasize Cindy's comments, though, or agree with them in that keeping the area as safe as possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Malley, questions or comments?
No questions or comments. Thank you.
Mr. Johns, questions or comments?
No questions or comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Orke, questions or comments?
No questions and no comments.
Thank you. Ms. Berkman, any questions or comments?
No, thanks, Randy.
Dr. Kelleher, any questions or comments?
None, thank you.
Okay, if there is no further discussion, I would entertain a motion at this time.
Parquet moves to approve Chatham Villages Phase 1, 2004 ODP 06 and 2004 SPP 06 with the noted staff condition that all necessary approvals be obtained from the Westfield Public Works Department and Hamilton County Surveyor prior to the issuance of an improvement location permit.
This is Kelleher. I will second.
I have a motion made by Mr. Orke, seconded by Dr. Kelleher to approve 2004-ODP-06, 2004-SPP-06, Chatham Villages Phase 1 with the staff's noted condition. Ms. Howard, will you call the roll, please?
Mr. Graham?
Yes.
Mr. Horke?
Yes.
Mr. Johns?
Yes.
Dr. Kelleher?
Yes.
Mr. Maui?
Yes.
Mr. McCarty?
Yes.
Mr. Schmitz?
Yes.
Ms. Folgerich?
Yes.
Ms. Bergman?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Ms. Howard. Going to our final item of business this evening.
Thank you very much.
Sorry? Going to our
Sorry,
final item of business this evening for tonight's meeting. 2005-ODP-07, 2005-SPP-07, Austrian Pine Subdivision.
Good evening, Plan Commission. For the record, Dane Crabtree with the Community Development Department. The items before you are the overall development plan and primary plat for the property that comprises the entirety of the Austrian Pine PUD, which is approximately 12.5 acres located at the southeast corner of State Highway 32 and Austrian Pine Way. This item received a public hearing at the May 6th Plan Commission meeting where there were no public comments. After some revisions, these items are now ready for your approval this evening. Brad Sheff of Y Engineers on behalf of the petitioner is present this evening. He does not plan to make a presentation but is available for questions, as am I if there are questions of staff. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Crabtree. Dr. Kelleher, do you have any questions or comments for staff or Mr. Sheff?
I do not.
Thank you. Ms. Berkman, any questions or comments?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Horke, questions or comments?
No questions, no comments.
Thank you. Mr. Johns, questions or comments?
No questions, no comments.
Thank you. Mr. Maui, questions or comments?
No questions or comments.
Thank you. Mr. McCarthy, any questions or comments?
No questions or comments. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Schmitz, any questions or comments?
None from me, thank you.
Ms. Poljarek, any questions or comments?
None, thank you.
Thank you. There's no further discussion. I would entertain a motion on this item.
This is
Schmitz, I'll
Paul
make a
Jarrett.
motion.
Oh, you got it?
You can go ahead, Cindy.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve 2005 SPP-07 and 2005 ODP-07 with the staff condition that all necessary approvals be obtained from the Westfield Public Works Department and Hamilton County Surveyor's Office prior to the issuance of any improvement location permit.
Schmitz, I'll second.
I'm sorry, who had the second?
Dave Schmitz.
All right, I have a motion made by Ms. Poljarek, seconded by Mr. Schmitz to approve 2005-ODP-07, 2005-SPP-07 with the staff's noted condition. Ms. Howard, we call the roll, please?
Mr. Horkay?
Yes.
Mr. Johns?
Yes.
Dr. Kelleher? Dr. Kelleher?
Sorry. I'm sorry, yes.
Mr. Maui?
Yes.
Mr. McCarty?
Yes.
Schmitz?
Yes.
Ms. Poljarek?
Yes.
Ms. Berkman?
Yes.
Mr. Graham?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Ms. Howard. That concludes the business for this evening. Does staff have anything further?
We do not unless Mr. Todd does.
Mr.
Nope,
Todd?
I have no comments this evening. Thanks, everybody.
Hearing none, I will make a motion to adjourn.
This
Okay,
is
we'll second
Kelleher.
that.
I second.
I think Jorge won the race on that. We have a
That's
motion.
right.
We have a motion made by Randall Graham, seconded by Mr. Jorge to adjourn tonight's meeting. Ms. Howard, we call the roll, please?
Mr. Johns?
Yes.
Dr. Kelleher?
Yes.
Mr. Maui?
Yes.
Mr. McCarty?
Yes. Thanks, everyone.
Mr. Schmitz?
Yes.
Ms. Poljarek?
Yes.
Ms. Berkman?
Yes.
Mr. Graham?
Yes.
Mr. Horkay?
Yes.
Okay, meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great week, everyone.
Bye, all.